Well, you walked in just as we were about to call the meeting to order. So I call the Solid Waste Authority Education and Outreach Committee Subcouncil meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Chair Dunn.
Here.
Member Bright Cruz.
Here.
Thank you very much.
All right. Wonderful. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All right.
Say that almost every day to remind them.
For real. Just in the nick of time, Richard. All right, you got your 2 minutes, sir. Public comments is now open.
Good morning, Chair and members. Thank you for the continued investment in education and outreach. The proposed Broward County Public Schools sustainability curriculum is an important step forward, and I would like to offer a few recommendations for consideration. First, I encourage the authority and the Broward County Public Schools to supplement classroom instruction with hands-on experiential learning opportunities. Students learn best when they can see sustainability in action through composting, food recovery, reuse, recycling, and resource conservation projects. Second, I encourage exploration of partnership with community organizations, farms, wildlife centers, and local governments that can serve as outdoor classrooms. The town of Southwest Ranches is currently developing a zero waste plan that reflects its unique rural, equestrian, and agricultural character. I'm serving as a zero waste consultant with Abbey and Associates and currently leading stakeholder engagement efforts to help inform the town's zero waste strategy initiatives. The Southwest Ranches Farmers Market includes open space and a pavilion that could potentially support future sustainability education programs and field trips where students can learn about composting, waste prevention, food systems, and the circular economy firsthand. Additionally, the South Florida Wildlife Center, their relocation to Southwest Ranchers presents another opportunity for students to learn about wildlife conservation, environmental stewardship, and the connection between natural resource protection and waste reduction. Finally, I encourage the Broward County Public Schools to engage organizations with expertise in zero waste education and behavior change. Broward Clean Air is affiliated with several leading zero waste education and outreach organizations, and we would be pleased to serve as a resource as the curriculum continues to evolve. I also want to thank Mayor Steve Brightcruz for his leadership and vision in helping guide Southwest Ranches toward a zero waste and circular economy transition in the years ahead. Thank you for your time and consideration.
All right, 9 seconds to spare. Thank you. Does the curriculum have hands-on experiential piece? What's being developed?
Yes, that was part of the plan. Good morning.
Good morning.
That the students would get it both in the classroom and then through their electeds. And then there's also many environmental clubs and other touch points throughout the year. So,
okay. All right.
Yes.
Great. So great minds think alike. Fantastic. Thank you for that. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of May 13th? All right. Well, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed. All right. Motion carries. Put waste in its place campaign update.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have a brief presentation for you today. As you know, we report quarterly. So next month we'll have the full. We're still getting numbers in, but we wanted to give you what we have on hand as of today. And then we want to talk about the additional fund. Well, not additional. The reallocation got approved on Monday. So we have a slide to talk through that to make sure we're still aligned and that we're executing what y'all want. Haley, I'm going to turn it over to you. I think you're going to take them through some of the reporting and then I'll do the budget stuff. Cool.
Okay, next slide, please. All right, so we want to start with some of the engagements and analytics that we have so far for our Put Waste in Its Place ad campaign. And this is all part of the paid piece. None of these numbers include our organic work that we're also doing. So Eyes on the Authority, this is still early results. Some are still coming in, but over 9 million. We have 256,000 social media engagements and over 44,000 link clicks or QR code scans. Elisa, could you play the video for us, please? This is with Island TV. So good.
I
Yeah.
know her and she does such a good job. Okay, so I feel better now because when you said that you were going to go to that food distribution, I'm like, oh, it's probably not. But I see the vision. Yeah, turned out really well.
No, Nikki's great. Their whole team is great. And this was the perfect piece, the way that they produced it. So we're very pleased with it.
That was added, right? Like we didn't pay for it. She kind of
Yeah.
she did that extra because she was like, this is important. Everyone should. I'm gonna take it upon myself to do something creative with it. And yeah, really good support from media.
So Island TV, they do a lot in stuff in Creole too. Any thoughts about doing something similar like this in Creole?
Yes, and we connected with member Patterson because she speaks, but she said she wasn't confident that her Creole
That her
could
Creole
do
would.
it like a whole interview or something.
Oh, no, no, no. I mean, the same way how don't we have Creole speaking influencers?
We did do Fritz Benny recently.
Yeah.
So he,
Or
Bernie,
even-
he could be one.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I just love the way that turned out.
Agreed.
And doing something similar in Creole and Spanish, I think would be super powerful.
Yep. So let's talk about that when we get to the how we're going to use the 106.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, next slide, please. All right, so another example, one of our influencers, Lori Jennings, I'm sure you all are familiar with her. She used to be on WPLG and she did a little piece for us on her Instagram. Elisa, could you hit play? So the numbers on the left are not just hers, it's inclusive of all the ones that we've gotten back so far. Some are still posting and still getting their reporting in, but it was really, really helping us expand the authorities' reach. You can see in the views and the engagements, it's putting the authorities' message in front of these people's communities. Next slide, please. And one more example for you all. So good.
And how perfect for her that she put it in one of her TV events.
Yeah, so the best thing about the influencers is one, I think it's a low cost for a lot of them, but we're reaching people we wouldn't reach through a government social media. Even if we promote it and it's tied to us, they're gonna get and what's awesome is when we reach out to them, I'm not just like blowing smoke. They really are. I had no idea. I definitely want to help with this. Sometimes they do extra, but they put it in their own voice. We're giving them, these are the things we're trying to inform people. This is what we're trying to get out there. But then we didn't say like go to a Cinco de Mayo party and do that. She did that on her own. And we don't have it for you today, but we'll circulate it in email. The gentleman who did our Creole influencer, he did a whole skit where he dresses up as his aunt who's older than him. And he's teaching her, but it's hilarious. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He actually
yeah.
ended up doing 2 posts for us. He did one
Yes.
in English. It was like a more serious. And then like a few days later, he did the whole skit. It was awesome.
We'll send that one around. We don't have it in the presentation, but we'll send it around. So keep this in mind, when we get to the 106 in a few minutes, because we definitely want to do more of this. The big thing, that we're going to get to, yes. And then people have to be aware, but they have to care. And then we get to the behavior change. So that's all the foundation that we're laying now, a lot of the work. And that's what we have in our mind when we're laying out like, okay, what do we want to do with these dollars? Yeah. Okay.
Next slide, please. So another important thing that we've seen between the influencer ads and then the ads that we've done on the authorities pages is it's really helped us. We've got a ton of comments and a new way to engage with people and answer directly their questions, their concerns, see what people are talking about now that we are reaching these newer audiences. So we went through and we categorized them. It was like well over 100 comments. And our main categories that we saw were related to recycling access and cart concerns, skepticism about recycling systems, positive support for recycling and sustainability, questions about how to recycle right. So what goes in my cart? I never knew that this was allowed. I never knew this wasn't allowed. Broader waste reduction and just environmental advocacy. So things like plastic reduction and the importance of that, questions about composting, concerns about packaging, and then a little bit of cost and skepticism, which we understand. So being able to go through all of this really helped because now it helps us tailor our next round of messaging too. We can directly talk with these people in the comments and also use this as a guide for our next slate.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any so recycling access and cart concerns, are there any, based on what was in the comments, are there any opportunities for us as an executive committee to perhaps think about systems and processes based on what the comments you were getting?
Absolutely. For now, we're holding the line of collection will remain with your city and pointing them where they can call, talk to somebody about that, make that request. I want a larger recycling. A lot of what we're hearing is I want a bigger container. So
yeah, I think it's important for us, maybe after we get to yes, it's important for us to revisit that and share that with the committee because all of us as cities, we're going to need to figure that out, right? In terms of our website, where is there a place on our communication where residents can go very easily and find out how to access the tools, the schedules? And I don't think that that's something that we think about as municipal leaders, right? And I think that I would note what's coming up and then think about where there's opportunity for new messaging, but also where there are opportunities for process and system intervention that we need to know as elected leaders so we can bring it back to staff, particularly for the TAC committee.
it will do. Thank you.
Okay, next slide, please.
Let the notes reflect that our executive director is here.
Okay, so a slew of earned media. You know, we turned basically everything on the paid side in April, and then we went right into our PR efforts. So just in the last three, you know, we're not even through with June, but 34 earned media placements, not paid, estimated, huge estimated audience. And that's because some of the radio, you know, they replay it over and over again in the drive times. But the estimated publicity value just from this kind of getting to yes effort and getting the messaging out on all of these medias is about 661,000 in earned media. So that's, yeah. Yeah, it really was. Next slide, please. So this is the impact segment that was, this came out right before the WLRM piece that Chair Ryan did. Yeah. Yep, so we crossed the 1,000 mark and yeah, we're moving and grooving. We're also, you know, these are the people that care the most. So as their city comes up, we're sending them notices. Hey, you pledged. This is the item that's coming for your city. Yep. 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 Yes. Yes. Next slide. Broken down by city. But one thing to note is we've gained 640 email addresses as well. So not only is it like, it's not really a one and done for people. It's like, yep, I'm committed to this, but yes, I want to learn more. Keep talking to me. And they're, you know, by choice, handing over their contact information. Well, we send out our newsletter. That's what we have on budget this year, once a month. But I think as we get towards the behavior change and standardizing the recycling, and you know, it's obviously we can also take that list. We can do lookalike campaigns with that list. I mean, there's a lot we can do with it.
For now, you're adding them to our email distribution, and the ones that are pending the vote,
Yes,
you are reaching out to those.
Correct.
So for me, I need those 54 people.
correct.
I need them.
Sounds good. Next slide, please. This is just a graph by city. It's tiny, because there's so many of them. Yeah. Because it's percentage of population. Go small cities. Spread it loud and wide.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh.
The PIOs have toolkits, and I know there's a meeting today at 1 o'clock with the PIOs, and I believe Lauderdale Lakes comes to that. So Commissioner Sharon Thomas has expressed interest in like being more engaged around the pledge. So, I'm happy to call her. I mean, Member Bright Cruz, I know that you're going to try and go to one of the events that she's hosting.
Yeah, so we did. We talked after that. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, I'm also going to be.
You're also out of town.
But what I
Okay.
did do was I went to the website. I put together an email for her with the website address so she can just click on and go there. And then I took screenshots of all of the videos, the PowerPoints, the FAQs, so that she could orient herself to it and work
Okay.
with it. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm out of town.
So maybe we can have that as an outreach event then. So if you guys can reach out to Member Sharon Thomas from the city of Lauderdale Lakes, she's having an event in July. Do you already know about it?
Not the event piece, but Amy did connect with her yesterday. She sent her an email outlining pretty much how to make a pledge video, a little sample copy, sample bullet points, and then she also sent the vice mayor the PIO toolkit as well. So that could be shared.
Okay, but I'm saying, but maybe having a table at that event, I
Yeah.
guess is what I'm getting at,
Mhm.
so that we can help her to drive the pledge even more.
Definitely.
Okay, cool. And you guys are going to share this slide with the PIOs?
Yes, we're meeting with them today. We're doing a tour of the new recycling
Mhm.
facility.
Okay,
We have about
perfect.
16, 20 PIOs confirmed.
Okay,
Good.
because folks
That's
are
great.
competitive.
In a friendly way. And I will note now, before we go into this, as we're looking at next year, when Elisa and team, before we launched, remember the whole digital and started driving traffic to the pledge page and increased the numbers serious so that we, but when we were just doing it in person, the conversion rate was 12%. So, as the budget gets larger, we might want to think about next year a dedicated paid team, either through my team or somebody else's team. Yeah, because it's high. I mean, 12% is excellent. And that's where we were, when it was just that. But then once we turned everything on, obviously, you're driving more traffic. You're not going to get as much. They have to see it more times. They're not as connected as having a 5-minute conversation with someone to really understand it.
Yeah, I fully agree. A street team, I think, is really critical. Boots on the ground. And that gives us the capacity to be in multiple places at once and to go to the HOA meetings.
Yeah, there's a lot we can be doing, a lot more touch than just one event per city because we're just limited on staff time, and volunteers are great, but they're volunteers. All right, next slide. I want to talk through the budget. So we have 106,480 sitting on the table. These are items that will not be done on hard cost for this year. So our team took the 106,480 based on previous conversations we've had here, and we broke it up. Interested in your thoughts. I'm happy to discuss. We need to get some visibility in that kind of Deerfield, Lighthouse Point, Lauderdale by the Sea area. So that's why we're dumping some into the New Pelican. That's why the new Pelican's on there, because that hits that area.
Vice Mayor Robinowski called me right after we were sending that, or we voted on the Second Amendment, and he got that language so he could give it to the Pelican. So I don't know if there's anything that you're doing with the Pelican or not, but he's working with them closely and they're working with him. So, you know, anything you can do to help them out and they get anything additional that you want to put to them, they are our ally.
Yes, this would be paid. So we're going to try to get more eyes on it,
Yeah. Okay.
control the message a little bit.
For the West Side Gazette, Bobby Henry is a pretty influential person in the African American community. I wonder if he would be open for the digital stuff to do like a really similar educational digital video with him being the person. He is not only influential in terms of, oh my gosh, if you can get him and Bertha to do it together, that would be great. But he's also a Q, right? So then he has that Divine Nine connection.
My question to you is, now we're kind of up against the wire. Are you all comfortable with those top few? If we need to juggle around 500, 1,000 to make it work, let's say he says I could do it, but I need, we really need to hit 3,500. Would you be comfortable? Okay, we'll slide it out of Pelican and put it there to make that happen. Are you guys okay with that as long as we don't exceed the dollar amount on this table, just so we don't have to come back and have a meeting to get the approval on that?
Remember Bright Cruz?
Yeah, yes, the answer is yes.
Thank you.
But a couple, just follow-up thoughts, clarifications, I guess. So the digital campaign, can you speak about that a little bit, kind of what's the audience for that and how's that going to be delivered?
So that's through our channels. We do ads, and that's where all those social comments are coming from. That's from our paid digital. We do YouTube via YouTube Shorts. We do Facebook and Instagram, and we target the ads based on our target audiences that we're going after: seniors, by age, Spanish speakers, Creoles, like all of our hard to reach.
Drill down.
So we drill it down.
Awesome.
We also have been, as we get to yes, we remove a city, but we pump out who said yes to all the other cities.
Right.
Hey, these cities said yes, your city should, is going to vote on this. So we're using those dollars to drive both efforts. So that's why we have an extra 10. Our wish is, not to spend it all, obviously getting to yes, but as we get to August 15th, and now we have kind of this holding period before the new money starts. It's always best in marketing if we can keep things going and not hard stop, start, like a constant drip to where it's working, So that's why we're asking for that extra pot so we can keep dropping influence. Like in that August 15th to September 30 before our money resets, we can keep things going.
Yeah. Perfect.
And not turn it all off and then have to start it up again.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
What's the timing of the digital piece? I mean, the direct mail piece.
So that we talked about doing after we get to yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I think, nailed the creative last time, but we'll bring that back to you next meeting in July to look at and then see how we want to target that. We basically took the monies we had in the business ones, since we're waiting on the C&D stuff and all of that, and we just put it in this line item to be on this side of things, because we know people want something to reduce contamination. Like, we know they want a direct mail to tell us these are the things that go in your cart.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's great. Just, you mentioned a lot July, and I just want to make sure. So I'm unfortunately, however you want to look at it, I'm going to be gone most of the month of July. So, because it's just the two of us, we need to both physically be here to have a meeting. So I just want to maybe coordinate a time. I get back like around, I think, the 22nd of July, and then I'm here for the rest of the month. I don't know if there's a time later on there that we could meet, just some
We'll coordinate schedules.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that after we get through the agenda as a new business.
Perfect.
Okay, all right, next.
Could I
Sure.
whatever you can do to target in on Fort Lauderdale, we're still, as we all know, it's still,
Your mic.
yeah, we need to target Fort Lauderdale though for any of your media blasts that you have, whatever you've got in there that's going to Fort Lauderdale. I see a lot of these are the West Side and the Pelican, which is really not going down to Fort Lauderdale. But anything that you have, any local newspapers that are target them. So what do you have anything now on the previous page that you had for Fort Lauderdale?
So we've done stuff with the Browardist, which is a huge influencer in Fort Lauderdale, and actually Commissioner Sorensen penned an article with the Browardist and it did really well. So we are targeting Fort Lauderdale. I think I'll have to get with Amy to really see what she's going to recommend there. I don't know that it's going to be something on this list though. So maybe we want to carve out while we're here making a decision.
Yeah, besides just,
Some money, like,
Can't you, I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Go ahead, if there's one,
Yeah,
any
but-
of the.
but the
local
digital-
newspapers.
The digital piece, couldn't we just make that hyper targeted to Fort Lauderdale?
Yes.
And the influencer piece, just make it hyper target. So it's the same money because it's still this money, this budget really is intended to be in part getting us to yes, right? So just be geo-targeted to Fort Lauderdale.
We can do that. And we have some of the digital that's running right now that is in specifically Fort Lauderdale. So they're not getting nothing right now. They're definitely getting ads, but we can carve out some of the money.
Yeah,
for them.
yeah.
And Hollywood too. I mean, Hollywood's a concern also, but if, I think if you're hitting Fort Lauderdale, whatever, it could be the same thing would be going to Hollywood. So if there's any local, Hollywood Talks or anything like that, HollywoodNews.net or anything, I don't know who's a local person there, if they have any local blogs or anything.
So to think through the timing of that, the vote for Fort Lauderdale happens July 2nd. So really in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then to give you time for you to then retarget the ones that do take the pledge to get them engaged. Yeah. Good point, Sam.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Use the microphone and just say who you are. You gotta use the mic. Use the mic.
That would be helpful. I tend to.
Get the
Okay. They tend to not be so pro-environment, but if we could get somebody who's an influencer from that community, it is a huge community at this point. So
Any suggestions?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Everyone I know has been against me with the trees, so they haven't been huge environmental people. I have some people who have been with us. I will call them and see who they think might be, and then I'll email you, Lori, because that's a really big community in Hollywood, and they're really becoming very influential on the board. So I got a letter from Herbst yesterday from Fort Lauderdale that was, no way, no how. So if we can get Fort Lauderdale people to tell him and his friends that they want it, that would be, I think your suggestion was great, that we really need to focus on them in Hollywood.
So if you can think through who you would suggest and let Lori know, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, I will, Lori.
All right. Thank you. All right. What's the next? So that gave you clarity and you have clear directions. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so just where we're going from here, we did send some members, Member Horland, Member Bowman, some did do the pledge videos, and they got great engagement. So we'll just, maybe Sam, we can get a reminder out to the members for that, because that did really well. We also are layering on top of it all the content we shot with the Panthers. That's the other digital campaign that we already have dollars for. We don't need any more because in our current budget, we have monies for that campaign specifically. That stuff actually does get recycled. So that's also being layered. Obviously, we're focusing on getting to yes, supporting Sam and the team however they need. So up next, we'll do the new digital media campaigns, the additional ad campaigns we talked about, direct mail after yes. And then additional earned media after yes, that'll be a great opportunity. And then we have the full report coming to you at the close of this quarter.
Do you know which members have agreed to, other than Member Horland, are there others in the pipeline to do the videos?
Sam, did you get a response from anyone when you sent the email to the governing board members? Remember, this was Elisa? No? Okay.
Oh,
So maybe we can send her a
yeah.
reminder.
So who would be helpful?
Oh, she did send it out. Okay. Okay.
So who would be helpful for us to get to do it? Because maybe Member Bright Cruz and I could make the ask directly.
Let me give some thought to that.
Yeah, give some thought and then maybe just send us an email with who you think would be helpful, and,
Will
and
do.
then we'll divide and conquer the list and make the ask directly. And I'll just wait until after mine to do my video.
I understand.
Yeah.
You get Mayor Trentalis and Commissioner Glassman. That would be great.
All right.
Concludes our update.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't realize they
we
embedded
started
it.
I saw it.
Awesome.
It was really good. All right. Oh, that's awesome. So I have a question, and it's a question that I'm asking because it's really my question. So now that I've been involved in this, I'm being more conscious about, like I've always been conscious about plastic and using reusable bags instead of plastic bags, but I'm now becoming more conscious of food waste. And so I'm curious, what should I be doing with food waste? Does anybody know?
If you can compost it at your house.
But
Well-
how does one compost at their house without it stinking up the place?
Well, it doesn't really stink. If you have a composter, a small composter that you can buy from Home Depot or whatever, they don't smell. I mean, I had a composter in a small one in the kitchen, but you can also get the ones that are like kind of look like a small, like a rock tumbler almost, and you
Mhm.
put the waste in there and you turn it. But you have to have a yard to do that with. If you don't have a yard, then probably the small one for the countertop. But Lori,
So, yeah, I mean, there's, as to Sam's point, there is a few options. Really, if you get the right mix with those tumblers, if you get the right mix of food and like leaves, you need some leaves, some other non-food compost to mix in with it. The smell is, if you get the right mix, the smell is almost non-existent.
Yeah.
But it's hard to get the right mix. Okay, so I'm not saying. But the other option, what we've done in the ranches is we've partnered with Filthy Organics, and for a very reasonable price, we did it originally as just a pilot because we weren't sure how it would go over. We've now got about 60 or 70 residences that are part of the program. We opened it up to everybody. It's not really caught on huge, but that's 60 or 70 that, and it's the cost is very minimal. I'm trying to remember what it is. I think it's like
2,500 a month.
Yeah, it's very minimal. And so what they do is they give us a bucket with a liner in it, and every 2 weeks you set it out in front of your house. They come by, they pick it up, they take the liner out, they give you a new liner, and you bring it back in. It's very no muss, no fuss, no smell because the container seals up perfectly, and it's very reasonable.
If you put meat products in there, does it smell?
Nope. Well, now this, because it's just food, if you don't put the lid on there, it's a stinker. Okay, I'm telling you. But it's totally sealed. So I have it, you know, right there, and I don't smell a thing.
So I think that's part of, one second. So I brought that question up, Lori, because I think that when we get to behavior change, I think it's important for us to kind of come up with like a process, right? So level 1, recycle your plastics. Level 2, think about how much food you're wasting. Level 3 starts to, so I think it would be important for us to come up with like maybe 1 to 5 steps of how people can really practice this and become really amazing steward, and then just small digestible things that we can do in our homes, and look for as many low or no cost ways. And as you know, if this property tax passes in cities, a lot of cities are not going to be able to supplement
Right.
the cost of doing any of this stuff. So that's why I brought up brought up my own conversation in my head, because I'm sure that as people get educated on this, that they may want to do more. Go ahead.
Home Goods, a very pretty at home good. It's a very pretty little thing that I keep on my counter. I put everything in that. I have the composting bags in it, and then when that gets full, I just put it in the 5-gallon container outside. No smell at all. We make no garbage. I mean, we could have our garbage picked up maybe every other week between recycling and composting, because everything goes into compost or recycling. There just
Yeah.
isn't garbage anymore.
So you would be a level 5.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but I'm saying it's so easy. There's no smell. It sits on my counter. It has its own like bags in it. So I just take that bag, put it in the one outside, and it's so easy. And we use renewable. Renewable picks it up every other week, and we don't
Right.
have any smell. It's really.
So I get that, and I still say you're a level 5. So in my city, where we may not have the additional service, right? That would be a barrier for people, or for folks who are not resource prohibits them to go to Home Goods to purchase something. So that's why I think that we have to kind of think through, level 1 to level 5, what's possible. But I'm happy to hear that it's possible for you to really minimize the amount of waste.
Prior to Home Goods, I used yogurt containers. I just, I saw this at Home Goods for $8, so I figured I would get it. But prior to that, I just used the large yogurt containers, and I put it in yogurt containers and just dumped the yogurt containers.
I think the other option is, I had a number of conversations with Member Mateer on this, and, in Coral Springs, they have a place where you can drop it off. And so maybe there's some options for some regional areas when we get there, to where that's a lot easier in some ways. So.
Okay, so let's put that in the parking lot. And after we get to yes, then let's think through, because with behavior change, we have to think about what the opportunity cost is for people, right? And we have to make the opportunity cost as low threshold and desirable as possible, so that it's easy for them to choose behavior 1 over behavior 2. But we'll get to that after August. Thank you. All right, so any further comment on this item? All right, thank you for the update, ladies. Keep up the good work. Outreach to cities.
Yes, so 16 and counting, 15 cities, 1 county voted yes. We have Coral Springs, I believe, tonight.
Coral Springs is tonight.
Yep.
Yes, Coral Springs is tonight.
Oh, what time do we have a time certain with them?
No, there's no time certain on it.
Where does it fall on the agenda?
I got to look at that. Oh, no, yeah, keep
It's
going. I'll let you know.
further down on the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
And their meeting starts at 7,
6:30.
6:30. Okay.
Oh, so they probably won't get to it until about 8, maybe?
Oh, I don't know how.
Well, let's see. All right.
Depends how many presentations and things. But I would like to point out that not one city has voted no up till now. So, you know, we're moving. That's all I have on that. We are just supporting Sam, you know, tweaks to presentations. Some cities want specific things with their numbers. We work on that together. So we're just offering our support whenever and however you need it.
And we thank you for it.
Anytime.
All right, great. And the PIO meetings, I know we have one today at
We
1
do.
o'clock. I saw the email that Amy sent out earlier.
Yep.
All right, so we're chugging along, and are the PIOs actually following through and helping us to push out the message?
Oh, yes. It's high rate.
Yes.
Yeah, we're tracking. They're all doing a great job.
Okay, all right. Broward County Public School update.
So Susan Cantrick, the Director of Applied Learning, retired at the end of this last school year. So our contacts and two that we've been working with, Summer Scarletti and Lisa Amarovic. I never say her name properly and I apologize. But they are our contacts still. So I had a call with them just before the last day of school, and they are identifying and working with the curriculum writer because they want to roll the curriculum out for this next school year. They are going to have someone come and present the curriculum. So my question to you is, and they will probably be maybe September, you know, after they get, you know, right at the beginning of school is a very busy time for them, and I don't want to pressure them, but hopefully September or October at the latest, someone's coming. Is the correct forum for that here? Do you want that at an executive committee member meeting? Because after that got approved, there were several members that reached out separately and said, I'd like to know what the curriculum is. I think they'd be interested in it.
My thought is that the rollout plan we should talk about here so that we're clear about what that strategy is going to be, what the potential impact is. And then the curriculum, I think the executive committee would be an appropriate place after we get to yes.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think, let's get the plan in place and give that some thought. Not that they couldn't adjust it or make recommendations to, but let's get that settled. And I think there is enough interest, and frankly, the education piece of it would
It's
be helpful to
important.
educate to the whole executive committee. So I agree.
Yeah, Sam?
Yes, there's one city in particular that has brought that up at their commission meeting a few times, Lighthouse Point. And so their meeting is now scheduled for the First and Second Amendment vote for July 14th. So anything that we have to present to them on the 14th as far as where these, the programs are going to be instituted, is it going to be, countywide for and it's going to be just first grade, or is it going to be for all grades? What's the, any details that you have on it? Because they're asking for it. They're saying they haven't seen anything or heard anything, and nothing's been, some of them were teachers and they haven't heard anything. So anything that you have that we can have for them is going to be great, because they're going to ask for it again, I know.
Yeah, so just to put it on the record, the funds were delivered from the authority. We funded $45,000 to support the curriculum development to the Broward County Public Schools. That check was delivered to them late April. So they didn't get the funding till the end of the school year. They are now writing the curriculum that will be taught all grade levels. Teachers will get the curriculum. It is up to the teachers whether they institute it or not. They are trying their best to tie it to a standard core. So it does get taught. It will also be integrated into their electeds. This is what they've told me. So they're writing the curriculum now, and then a member of the school team will come and present that to the whole executive committee and maybe even a governing board meeting if you think that that's valuable.
Go ahead, Sam.
Do you know how many hours that they're looking to, how many hours of curriculum will be involved? Is it a 100-hour course, or just 10 hours or 5 hours towards education of it?
That's a question for them of how they write curriculum. I'm not a curriculum writer, and I don't even want to begin to guess, but as I understand it, it's a lesson that gets taught in the classroom. So it's age appropriate for a grade 1 through 3, a grade 5, 4th and 5th grader, a middle school lesson, and then a high school lesson.
Could we invite them to come to the July meeting just to talk to this committee? Whatever.
I think that will be tough given when they ask to connect back with me. They're on, they're in summer break right now. So I don't think it would happen before August.
Okay, so the
yeah.
August 19th meeting then.
I can ask.
Yeah, let's invite them on the August 19th
Sure.
meeting. And because I'm curious too about what the rollout is going to be and
Sure.
Agreed? All right, so let's invite them to the August 19th meeting, and then they can present to the entire board in September.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I'm curious about is originally we had spoken about picking like 4 or 5 schools to pilot something. Where did that end up?
So that was before Susan Cantrick advised that they just roll the curriculum out in this first phase to all grade levels.
Mhm.
That was we were thinking originally like, well, let's just pilot it in 3 or 4 schools. But then they said, no, let's just write the curriculum for the grade appropriate age and just push it out to all the schools.
Mhm.
So that went away. What they ended up doing then was to launch like the notice that the curriculum is coming to their teachers for Earth Day. They did celebrations in certain schools.
Mhm.
And we went there, we videoed it, we put it on socials, we worked with them. I believe Plantation even recognized one of their schools that was honored, but schools that were essentially getting it right, they celebrated them with a little bit of the money, gave them awards, and then that is dovetailing into the curriculum kind of being launched. They're kind of like the cheerleaders for it.
Do we know which schools have well, could we get a list of the schools that have environmental clubs?
Yes, I've asked for that. I believe they're putting it together.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
great. Because then we could let each member know that there's an environmental club in their city. And then I don't know about you, but I'm starting to do my strategic planning for the next fiscal year now. And so I'd like to know which schools in my city or the surrounding community has environmental clubs, because then I can kind of match my educational outreach to provide additional support around behavior change.
Makes sense.
So yeah, that'd be good. Any further comment on this? All right.
I have one additional thing, Madam Chair. So in the budget for this year, we also have $10,000 earmarked for back of house training for janitors, kitchen staff. They also are just like us, trying to get the janitors and the kitchens to put the right recycling items in their recycling carts for Coastal, who's their provider. So they're thinking about potentially like where the carts sit, the poster that goes there. They don't have stickers on their bins right now. How to use that 10,000 to just get something in front of their back of house staff. So they've brought that back to their, leaders, and they're gonna also update me on how they'd like to use that, so I can bring it to you all, and maybe we can talk about it in August, so that those monies can be used before September 30.
So I always like to talk to the folks who we're targeting. Are they, in deciding on the tactic, are they going to be deciding it in a silo, or are they going to be talking to the target audience?
I believe they're talking to the target audience.
Could we confirm that?
I will.
Yeah, because then you don't want a principal to say, let's just do this, and then at the end of the day, the janitor doesn't pay attention to it.
Yep.
So we could just make sure that that's happening.
Right. Just it brings up another thought. Have we done anything from a procurement standpoint? Any communications to those folks that do procurement that we're starting to look at? There's different options, and what you buy off the shelf, whether or not that packaging is recyclable or not recyclable, things like that. And I'm wondering if we have anything in the works. I don't think we've ever talked about it, but I wonder if there's anything as far as that maybe we could at least add on to that would least get people thinking in that direction. I don't know. I think in the long run, that's what a lot of it's going to come down to. I don't think we're there today, but I think in the long run, changing the packaging that we're going to be using is key.
Yeah, I can add it to the list. I think when Member Bowman is here next, she's the right person to
Okay.
connect with on that in our next public meeting.
Well,
I can call her and talk to her about that.
That's a good idea. I can tell you, we have a no plastics ordinance on city property in Lauderhill. And when I tell you how challenging it is to get people to go from using the plastic bottles,
Yeah.
single-use plastic bottles to something else, it's a challenge. And the pushback that I get from some folks is, oh, the can's so expensive. And it is, it's more expensive. The can's more expensive. This is more expensive. So what I'm saying to folks is, you know what? Let's do what we used to do. Get an igloo with water and use the paper cups, and people can get water that way. So I do think that there is a level of education that's required around the procurement piece. And then switching out all of our vending machines from plastic bottles to can, even if it's a little. So I think that once we get past, yes, we need to now think through the ecosystem of, municipal government, the school, and see where there's opportunity for us to help them make small digestible changes. That's not going to be too expensive. So maybe we can workshop that. Maybe in our September meeting and invite an expert that can help us figure that out. Yes, go ahead. The mic, please, the mic.
Okay, I'm involved with trying to get the South Broward hospital system more sustainable. And we belong to Practice Green Health, and they have a procurement website, a place where you can buy the stuff, process stuff and that kind of thing. So I'm sure there's something equivalent for non-hospital, cities that you could find that.
Yeah, if you could share the resource with Lori, that'd be great.
Oh, okay, sure.
Thank you. Practice Green Health?
Oh, yeah, Practice Green Health.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. You know what I love about this? We're speaking as if it's already done. And I love that. That's a good sign, right? All right. Thank you for that. All right. Do we need to talk about reallocation?
No, I added this to the agenda just in case but we folded it into the presentation before.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So new business, the changing of the schedule. So you said July 22nd is when you're coming back?
Just checking it. Actually, I get back on.
Yeah, and I'm leaving that week, but I really want to take the last 2 weeks off, but I don't think that's going to be possible. So I will be back on the 29th. Well, could you do a later meeting on the 29th, like that Wednesday? Later in the afternoon? Or Thursday, the July 30th. Because the executive committee and governing board, we don't meet at all in the summer, correct?
There are dates for executive committee.
When are they?
I'll pull that up.
The executive committee meets July 17th at 9 a.m.
Okay, yeah, I'll be here for that. I'll be here for that. The 30th would work?
30th would be great.
Okay.
Is that anytime during the day? Because I will check for availability in the afternoon of the 29th.
Oh, no, I think.
And then the 30th.
Did you say the 30th or the 29th? So the 29th, I could do in the afternoon, like after 1 o'clock. And then on the 30th, I could do the morning.
I'll confirm availability of the room.
Okay, all right.
So while we're talking about this, I'm looking at August as well. And I'm going to be really delinquent. I'm not going to be here on the 19th either. I'm here through Tuesday, the 11th.
And then we don't have an executive meeting in August, I don't believe, right, Sam?
It is on the schedule, but
We don't have one on the 19th?
It says August 19th, there's a meeting.
they're all on the schedule if the executive committee decides not to have them.
Okay.
But that hasn't been discussed at this yet.
Okay, I thought they said yesterday, no executive in August. But, okay, I see it.
Now, I could do the 12th if that will work instead of the 19th.
Let me just see. The 12th.
When did you say you were leaving?
I leave on the 12th. I have my flight
Oh.
leaves at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we could do first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I could do the morning of the 12th, same time like now,
Yeah. Yeah.
if we needed to. Okay?
Yeah. That would work for me.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't think, just to give you the variable, I'm just trying to think ahead. In terms of funding, we're not going to be,
So do you want to cancel August?
I'm not making a recommendation for you. I'm just giving you guys an option too, because if you're not making a decision, a voting decision like we did today, where I need you
Right.
to say yes to the numbers, you could also have a virtual option if that helps you with your
yeah.
schedules. I'm just saying that.
Um,
But I'm wondering if we do need to start looking at, we wouldn't be looking at the budget for next year till September because we have to get to yes first. So
So could we then do the July and August virtual if we're
That's
not
what I'm
voting on
wondering.
anything?
just to open up more time,
um,
and then we don't
for-
worry about the meeting room because she has to check if this is even available on certain
Yep.
days.
For July, I'm totally fine with virtual. I'll have full access. For August, I'm going to be in a cruise ship in the Arctic, so I'm not sure what my activity is going to be there.
All right, so then could we just make July, the July 15th meeting virtual then?
I'm good with that.
Okay. So we'll just make that virtual. And then the only thing you have to do is think about the August meeting.
And I think that'll be helpful because you want to have the school, someone from the school here too.
Mhm.
So if they're coming to the August meeting and you want to do that one virtual as well, I
Yeah.
think that might help get them here. You know, it might be easier for them just with
Okay.
the start of school and bringing them out west. Yeah.
So do an August 12th virtual as well?
Yeah,
From 9 to 10:30.
correct.
Okay.
All right. Any other new or old business? Sure.
That's all right. I sent you guys yesterday some information about this ending wasted food program from National Wildlife Fund. We can apply for up to $300,000, and this is like right up our alley. Look, I mean, you guys have done an unbelievable job. I think you guys have been fantastic, and this isn't so different from what we're already doing. And if we could apply for this grant, I don't know, Sam, I don't know how this gets done, but
Not a bad idea.
this grant was written for what we're doing, and you know, it's up to $300,000, which you guys, I mean, you're already doing this. So I'm wondering, the deadline for application is September 1st. It's,
I mean, we could have the grant, kind of ready to go.
I mean, it's, I sent you the information. I could send you more. I found a little more since then. There's 2 different kinds of grants. And I think we'd be eligible for both of them, actually. And it's, I mean, to me, we're just the perfect, if when they describe who should get this grant, you know, we have so much in place already. You guys have done, I mean, I can't believe it. 1,000 people have come up to me and said, oh, I've seen you on, you know, I didn't even see it, but I don't even know how people are getting it. But you guys are getting the word out there. It's just really, I'm really impressed. And I mean, we have everything in place. So I'm happy to help with it.
We have to,
I-
for us to get this grant, I know we have to be past August 15th
Yeah.
before we'd even apply for it, but we could be ready to apply for it after August 15th,
Yeah.
you know. So there's,
I think it's, so you look into it, Sam?
yes.
All right.
Where
Sounds
would we
good.
go from here?
What's that?
I don't even know where to start. Where would we go from here? Because there's a lot of, so Sam, I can send you this more information
Yeah, I
on.
have it here that you sent, the Catalyst Grant,
Okay.
the Innovator Grant.
Do we have a grant writer, Sam?
I have a grant writer that I've used in the past. It's very, very good. And he's relatively inexpensive also, R&K funding, RMPK, let me think.
Is this something that we would need to bring to the executive committee?
He's,
Or is he in your purchasing threshold?
I think he's in my purchasing threshold. Yeah, I know he would be.
So maybe just send it to him and
Yeah.
review. What do you think, Member Bruce?
I do think we should loop in the executive committee. I really do, just so
Right.
they're aware of it. Doesn't come as a surprise that they're, they feel like, I don't see any objection to it. I just don't want to be surprised by it.
Right.
Just an agenda item or a bullet point under your,
Yeah.
under education report.
I
Yeah,
think,
I can bring it up at the next meeting then.
yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And again, just not to get distracted from the yes, I think would
Right,
probably
right.
be the only thing.
Yeah.
But thank you for bringing
Yeah,
that
it's
forward.
up to $750,000. So you
Yeah.
guys could do a lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we get that. They said the average grant will be 300,000, but even still, 300,000. Or you could do a lot with that money.
All right. May I have a motion to adjourn? All right, so moved. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Ryan Russ, yes.